Hey, hey! As you can tell, this girl's a hot mess, and the reason is I just had the most incredible workout. I know I hate these headphones, but at least I know y'all can hear me. So anyhow, let me tell you how my week is gone. You know, it's funny, but it seems like when we get the riffraff out of our life, things turn around, and they turn around for the better. And I want to give you an example. First, before I get off on the great things that's happened to me in the last week, I would like to say that I'm doing well. And we were starting for Narcissism. We were touching bases on things that I was doing to help me get back to the old Tami. And in making my list, I had already started 2 of the top things that I had to do. The first one was sleep, because as we all know, our narcs don't want us to be rested. You know why? Because the more rested you are, the more mind you have, and you're more apt to keep your cool. So, the first thing on my priority list was to start getting enough sleep regardless of what time I went to bed. Now, I was a swing person my whole life. I pretty much only liked working swing. So my retired life, I'm pretty much on a swing schedule. The earliest I get to bed, it seems, is midnight. And there are times I could actually be up till 2 or 3 in the morning. Well, my issue was thinking that I needed to get up at 7 or 8 every morning. So because of my narc. So here I was, going to bed at 2, 3 in the morning and getting up at 7. And of course, I have broken sleep because of my arthritis. Wakes me up all night long. I was so thirsty. I already chugged a bottle of water. But anyhow, so the first thing on my priority list was sleep. And I make sure that I get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep every day. Now, if I don't fall asleep till 3, I don't set my alarm until at least 9 o'clock. Yesterday, I slept till 10:30. Went to bed at 2. But I don't set my alarm for Sundays. If I sleep until I wake up. And yesterday was my lazy day. I did nothing. It was a Tami day. But anyhow, my second thing on my priority list was learning how to love unconditionally again. So I made sure that I had my dogs with me. I have 2 dogs. So with those 2 things in perspective, I started on my physical appearance. I had really let myself go. And I think that a lot of us let ourselves go when we're in a narcissistic relationship. They have a way, they have a way of making us feel less than, no matter how good you look. I mean, you could be one of the hottest people on earth, and if you're involved with a narcissist, he has a way of helping you to lose your self-confidence. Mine like the look of fat girls. Now, please, people, don't get me wrong. I am a fat girl at heart. I was a chubby kid my whole life, and until probably about 21 years old, I weighed about 200 pounds. And then from about 22 to 25, I got healthy. And I went down to 125 pounds, and I stayed there for years. But then I got sick with Hep C. And then they put me on all kinds of antidepressants, anxiety meds, and needless to say, by 2000, I had bloomed to 240 pounds. And my blood pressure was so out of control, they couldn't get my bottom number below 100. The doctor said, "You're going to die. You're going to die, Tami." So what he had me do is he never put me on a diet. He put me on I walked after every meal, at least 15 minutes. And then, and he told me, don't cut down on your plate, but whatever you put on your plate, eat only half of it. Well, within a year, I had lost 100 pounds. And I had pretty much managed to keep that 100+ pounds off for years. Well, over the last year, I got really depressed and I just quit. I quit caring. I quit caring about me. If he didn't care enough about me, I didn't care enough about me. And you know what? I even got this guy walking, and I thought he enjoyed it, but he'd rather sit around the house in his underwear than go to the gym. And so when you have a mate who has no motivation for life, you tend to lose it too. Now, I can't blame just him. I have to blame myself because I actually let me go. So between the epiclusa and a narcissist for a mate, I had put on 10 pounds. Now, I know that a lot of you out there going, oh, what the hell is 10 pounds? Well, when you have arthritis as bad as I do in my knees, in my hips, my shoulders, my back, my neck, 10 pounds is a lot. It means waking up more often at night because I get stiff. It means not being able to walk. My feet cramp. I mean, my knees, my hip. I mean, it means a lot. Even walking hurts. So, the third thing on my priority list of getting Tami back was getting healthy again. Now, for some reason, the lifestyle that I had adapted in 2000 when I lost 100 pounds stopped working for me. I at one point, before I started taking epiclusa, I could eat ice cream every night. I ate everything I wanted, anything I wanted. Now, granted, I didn't have big portions, but I ate whatever I wanted. If I wanted cereal, I ate it. If I wanted chocolate, I ate it. And I refused to drink diet anything. And if you'll notice, the girl is drinking diet soda now. What I did is my mother spent her whole life on the asst diet. Well, I found out there's a new diet called ketos. And it's just a lot like, actually, it's a tremendously alike asst diet. Not quite, but a lot. So what I did is I started the ketos diet. And I'm not even going to call it a diet because it's actually a way of life. What causes yo-yo dieting, people, is when you diet, you drop all that weight, and then you go back to your old eating habits. The fact is none of us should diet. We should change our lifestyle. So anytime you decide to lose weight, you need to make up in your mind that this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle change. And you have to live that lifestyle change. Because see, for 2 weeks after my Narc left, I went back to eating the way I did. I didn't drop a pound. And I started walking. I was walking every day. Not to the extent that I am now, and not as often as I am now. I'm back to every day. But I did. I should have at least dropped a couple pounds. I didn't drop anything. And I was hungry. So, I went on the ketos lifestyle. And if you'll see behind me on my stove, let me see. See all my ingredients? This girl is making her keto bread today. And a keto, what's it called? Cinnamon breakfast cake. No carbs. But anyhow, that's what the keto diet is. No carbs. This girl is down to 124 pounds. I don't like to be any thinner than that. I've dropped 10 pounds, 11 pounds actually. And I even went out to a party on Saturday night. They didn't have anything. I took an iced tea with me with nothing in it, no sugar, and I finished that. We ended up being there for like 6 hours. So my 32-ounce iced tea was gone, and the only thing they had to drink there was sugar Pepsi. Oh my God, that was like drinking syrup. But anyway, I thought for sure I had knocked myself out of ketos with a regular Pepsi that has like 45 grams of carbs. More than I should eat in 2 days. But anyhow, it didn't happen. So that was a blessing. So anyway, the third thing on my, and fourth, because diet and exercise was 3 and 4 for me on my priority list of getting Tami back. So So, I'm happy to say that out of my first 4, I'm accomplishing my goals. I feel 100% better, people. I feel wonderful. I mean, I have energy, I have stamina. I don't turn people down when they say, hey, let's go here or let's go there. I don't turn down invites to parties anymore or open mic night. If somebody wants me to go out and join them as their friend, absolutely, I'm on it. So I want you to know that if you make that priority list, a list of stuff that you used to like to do, that made you part of who you were before your narc came into your world, and you start working that list, then you will absolutely start returning to who you are. It's wonderful. So anyway, that's how I am right now with the narcissist area. Let me tell you about my blessings in the last 2 weeks. Well, actually, just last week. Last week, a week ago today, Monday, I had applied for energy assistance because I pay everything here. I was paying everything when my narc lived here. Once in a great while, he would throw me half of the electric bill. And he would buy all the groceries, but I hardly ever ate the stuff he ate. I mean, ever. When I live alone, I'll spend at the max, and even on this keto diet, which is very expensive, I only spend like $100 a month. You know, so when he was around, I told him, you pay for groceries since you can't afford to pay any rent or any bills. But the groceries he bought was for him. And one time, when he broke up, he took them with him. You gotta leave it to a narcissist, right? So anyhow, I had applied for energy assistance. Well, last Monday, I got a letter in the mail, and they gave me $600 toward my electric bill. That means that right now and for the next 4 months, I will have an extra $144 in my pocket. That girl put it in savings. Then, I have to tell you this. Last Thursday, a friend of mine called me up and he said, hey, you want to go to Mikhail's for a TCT? And it's just one of the things that we used to do when we were friends. And I said, oh, I would love to. I was thinking about one the other day. I was over there because we go to Mikhail's. And he goes, oh, excuse me. He goes, well, I'm going to go to the state line, California, Nevada. He goes, I'm going to buy some lotto tickets. He goes, do you want to just ride along? Because, you know what, people? I used to work credit and collection. I was a supervisor. I know the odds. And I don't gamble. And I have to tell you, the last time I gambled, I was pissed off at my narc at a gig. I dropped 4 quarters and won $180. I just don't gamble. Well, I go out to the state line with him, and I spent $20. I ended up buying just let me see how much money, $10 in scratchers, and I spent $10 on Powerball or something like that. So anyway, not even thinking about it, we sat in the parking lot and scratched the dollar tickets, and the most I won was a free ticket. And so I brought my $5 ticket and my $3 ticket home to Vegas with me. So that night I'm scratching my $5 bingo ticket, and I won $515 on a $5 ticket. God is good. God is so good. I can't even begin to tell you that when you start to fall back in line with your Creator, and when you ask Him, when you have a goal in mind, and you say, Father, help me, He helps you. Now, gambling isn't something that I do on a regular basis. And to be really truthful, when I lived in Arizona, I would get a scratcher every once in a while. I always got the bingo. It was a bingo scratcher I won on. But But I just never really gambled that often. It was something more, waste $5 to give myself something to do for 10 minutes. It beats spending $40 and going to a bingo hall, right? So this girl is $1,100 richer in a week. In just a week. So Wednesday, me and my friend are going back out to the state line so I can collect my $515. But I have to tell you that when you start enjoying life, now you know what, I have to tell you that we had discussed going to the state line the day before. And I had even at one point sent him a message on Facebook and said, you know, Billy, I changed my mind. I don't feel up like going, because I had went and worked out. I did some yard, pulled weeds, and I was just kind of tired, and it was getting hot. So I had sent him a message over Facebook. Not 10 minutes later, he called me, and I couldn't just say no, you know, because he's like, I'm on my way, you know. So it was like, oh, well, I might as well go. So here I ended up going, had no idea I would even spend any money, because like I said, I know what the odds are on these games. You just don't have a lot of luck. And $515 is the most I've ever won. Ever. So no, when I go to cash in my ticket, I may spend $5 on one more scratcher and scratch it there, because I don't want to have to depend on anybody to take me back out there to cash my ticket in. But I just wanted to share a little bit of the good things that are going on in my world. Now, the next thing is, I don't know if I'm staying in Nevada. I really don't. I have to tell you, when I came here in 2014, God had promised me 3 blessings. 3. Where's my camera? God had promised me 3 blessings if I came here. And I got those 3 blessings and more. I am blessed every day by God Almighty. But I have no family here. None. And I don't have that many friends. I pretty much isolated myself over the last 4 years because of my Narc. I love live music, and the other night was the first night I've been out because of him. I don't want to run into him or his friends or his crowd. I actually ran into one of his friends on Saturday night, and the minute she found out I wasn't with him anymore, she kind of shunned me. Not that it hurt my feelings. I could give a shit. But the fact is the things I like to do, I don't really do because I'm afraid of running into his buddies. But I happen to run into a group of people that don't hang with him, really. You know, it's a small community of musicians in Vegas, and they have their little cliques, and I just happen to be invited to a clique that he is not part of, except for that one person. Well, everybody there knows him because he's been playing Vegas for 30 years, but they don't hang with him. Matter of fact, a few of the people he just despised. So anyway, I just want to let you know, especially those of you who are really struggling, make that list. Start working on you. You spent years working on your Narc. Think about it. Years working on your Narc. You spent years changing yourself to be what you thought they wanted you to be. Because let's face it, no matter what we do when we're with a narcissist, it's not good enough. Or if you changed one way, they want you back another way. And you lose the real you. The real you lose. I like me. I like who I am. And I want her back. And I am going to fight with every grain in me to get the Tami back that I know and that I love and make me happy. Just saying. Life is out there after narcissism. It's out there. There's a lot of pain, and it may take you, like it did me, 2 or 3 years to finally let go. But there'll come a day when you look over at them and you go, no, it's not working. And I quit fooling myself. I quit fooling myself. Do you know, when he came home to me in December, And 2 days after we had slept together, I got so sick with the sinus junk, I convinced myself that it wasn't chlamydia. It was. And that idiot, that evil, sat there for 9 weeks watching me be so sick I couldn't breathe. I couldn't lay down to sleep. Because he didn't care about anybody but himself. You know, one thing about narcs, they only care about their nut and money. And I'm convinced of it. They don't know how to love. They don't know what love is. They're hollow. They're hollow, empty beings. So don't let yourself be a hollow being, because they sucked out of you every grain of who you were. You're worth more than that. Take it back. You would have took it back when you first met them had they showed you 1 ounce of who they really were when you first met them. I'm not talking 3 months in. I'm not talking 6 months in, because especially empaths, we can fall in love with somebody in that time. We could fall in love with the dream of falling in love by that time. I'm talking, if they would have showed us 1 iota of who they really were within the first couple weeks, we would have told them where to go and how fast to get there. I would have. I absolutely would have. And I'm sorry it took me so long. I lost 4 years of my life, but I'm not going to lose any more ever again, and neither are you. So anyway, dear ones, I just wanted to share my next steps and how good they're going. I'm sorry I looked like this, but I had an awesome workout, and I want you to know that there is life after narcissism. There's life after hepatitis C. There is. I promise. So anyway, until next week, I pray you're all safe. I pray the blood of Jesus over you. And I pray that you'll look in that mirror and tell that person how much you love them and what a glory they are to be here. Peace.